Hey, welcome back. So it's been about 10 days since episode one. And I think the first one, like I said, it was better than you thought. And that's what I decided to name it. And yeah, feedback has been good. So here I am, gonna try it again, making this shit up as I go. On that note, this podcast is NSFW, which means not suitable for work. It's also NSFM, which means not suitable for midgets, because as you can see, my backdrop has not changed. I still have empty drawers. And thinking about opening it up as a shelter for homeless midgets. Uh, and I think any midget could afford, maybe rent in a drawer. I mean, it's a drawer. I don't care how tiny your little midget pants are, or how shallow your little midget pockets are. You got tiny hands, freakishly tiny hands, and you should be able to pay me a little bit, just a little bit. That's probably all you can pay is a little bit. And I'll put you in one of the very spacious spaces for drawers. There's no doors. Just it's just empty. It's like Japanese Hansen. You go in there and you sit in the tub with 50 other men, and then they climb into what is essentially an open drawer in a dresser and listen to other people snore for 6 hours and claim that you slept at the Hansen. Um, that stuff is messed up. I did not like Japan. I was there for 4 days, visiting two very good friends of mine. Um, it was probably the worst 4 day vacation I ever had in terms of being someplace completely new and experiencing new things. The new things I did experience kind of sucked, and that includes the food. And there were very few new things that I experienced because my friend Craig decided to make us walk around Den Town while he shopped for a computer for 6 hours. We were there. I was there 4 days. Spent 6 hours shopping for his new computer, which we then brought back to his apartment and watched him play Lord of the Rings for another 6 hours. It was worst trip to Japan ever. And Craig is a dick, for sure. And he knows that. He knows that. He likes being the dick. Like, that's his thing. That's literally what he does. He's just a dick. He's a good guy though. He's a dick, but he's a good guy. So what else has happened since last time? The update on the money hole. Yeah, she's literally a money hole. The wife went out and spent way too much fucking money on new shoes for the money hole. Her feet are this big. You could fit them in a yogurt cup, which I thought, why not just cut a tongue into the top of a yogurt cup and lace some dental floss through the tongue and call it a shoe. She doesn't fucking know. She's 18 months old. She doesn't need $60 Stride Right shoes because she walked over to them and picked them up. That does not mean she needs them. That means she wanted to put them in her mouth, taste them, and then spit them out. That is all that meant. That does not mean it had to cost me $60 for her to taste them. So she's a money hole, and now she's actually causing me to potentially risk my job. The other day, my boss called, and just real quick, he said, "Hey, can you come to this meeting?" And I was distracted. I was looking at my calendar, and I'm like, "Oh, no, Daddy has a prior commitment. Can you give Daddy an alternative?" Hello, hello. And then I heard what I said, and I was like, uh, prank caller," and I hung up, which is not a feasible excuse because he called me, and therefore not a prank. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna lose my job because I sexually harassed my male boss. I think that qualifies I mean, there's only so many ways you can take being called daddy in a professional setting, um, and none of them are good. Uh, so stay tuned for that. I may need you to donate funds to keep me alive, not just recording these podcasts, but to actually keep me alive. Um, and if you hear that big noise behind me, the town that I live in recently suffered a giant snowstorm. Lots of trees knocked down because the leaves haven't fallen off the trees yet. So the snow sat on the leaves and basically brought all the weak branches down. And they've been going around trying to chop them up for a week and a half now. My wife and I were just outside trying to rake up all the leaves that have fallen, and we have a compost pile back there. For those of you who've never been to San Francisco, or those of you who only eat McDonald's and shop at Kmart, a compost pile is where you put a giant black plastic thing in your yard, and you fill it with all of your food scraps, eggshells and old bacon, somewhat old bacon, beans, and other things with lots of nitrates in them. That's all I can think of right now. Hot dogs, nitrates. So you fill this compost pile with that stuff, and then eventually it turns into really good soil for planting vegetables. Yeah, that word was vegetables, you Big Mac eating schlub. Vegetables are green and they are leafy, and probably would help you lose a few pounds. Man, I'm really mean right now. Really, really mean right now. I don't know why. I think it's because I haven't pooped in a few days. Sorry. I'm sorry. So for those of you who do eat at McDonald's all the time and shop at Kmart, I apologize. You're fat, but that doesn't mean I should call you fat. I mean, it's a fact. It's a fat fact. And so anyway, compost pile. And we're out there and we're raking shit up, and she yells. She's like, "Damn it!" I'm like, "What? What's the problem?" Apparently, there's some animal that has been getting into her trash pile and making a big mess of it. Basically, they climb into the doors at the bottom where most of the soil collects, and they climb up and they start eating the rest of the food that's there. Especially the old bacon. They love the old bacon. So she's complaining that the animal is making a mess out of her trash pile. There it is. You see? See how messed up that is? She's complaining that her trash pile looks like trash. What do you mean? Of course it looks like trash. It's a trash pile. The animal is eating the food. The animal, a member of nature, is eating the food that you got from nature, that you are now giving back to nature by putting it in this compost pile. And you're complaining to me that an animal is making your trash pile look trashy? Seriously? So, anyway, that's pretty much what I have for now. Was a good week. I think I'm going to keep doing this as long as I possibly can. And you're going to keep laughing, and I'm going to keep talking. A quick note though. I wanted to mention my hair. As you can see, it's awesome. And if you're interested on where I got the styling, this was actually Taylor Lautner's original Twilight hairdo. So this is what Taylor Lautner was going for, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it with Taylor Lautner. They couldn't do it with Taylor Lautner. All of his abs, he's like 19 abs, but they couldn't get this hair. They couldn't get this hair. So he went with whatever sexy thing he has now. But this is what they were going for. So just keep that in mind. If you want styling tips, you can hit me up with an email at actor, ACTOR, at brianmhansen.com. Also, I don't have 19 abs. No, I'm not going to show you my abs. It's time for you to walk away. Walk away. Walk away. Okay, I'll show you my